How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The following program is produced by the Tech Talk Radio Network.
Hey, everybody, this is Kelly Hansen from Foreigner, and you're listening to Tech Talk Radio.
Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Sean DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Welcome.
It's good to see you. Last week we had a best of show, but everybody was doing something last week, and then Sean fell asleep.
Andy and I were supposed to record, and then Max was Max was up late, and then Caitlin was out, and I woke up.
You fell asleep at your desk, didn't you?
No, I fell asleep in Max's bed with him.
Oh.
It's totally what I pictured. I totally pictured him with his head on the desk, drool coming out onto his show notes, because we were going to record. After about 20 minutes, I went back into, and Gloria was in the TV room. She said, "So did he fall asleep?" I said, "Yeah, I think so."
It's not the first time.
Well, I mean, you got to understand too, though. The Sean is 3 hours ahead of you, Andy.
Yes, exactly.
You know, so yeah, when we record the show, sometimes it's like 7 p.m. your time. It's like 10,
11 o'clock,
even. Yeah, I mean,
and then he has to be up.
Oh yeah.
What time do you get? What time do you get up to get to Notre Dame?
Oh, the boys are up by 6 a.m. So
yeah.
What time do you get up?
I mean, I get up with the boys and then go to work usually. So.
Oh, okay. So same time. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, by the time we're done recording the show, it's 11:30.
Yeah.
I usually go to bed right after that. So
remember the good old days, Sean, when you and I would come home from our night shift at Fox 5 and we would play like Daisy or something until like 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Oh,
dude,
we wouldn't get home until 11 p.m.
Right.
And then we would play, me, him, and a couple of our other buddies. We'd play
when we lived in San Diego before he moved out to Santee. We were about the same distance from the office, right? So we would be like, all right, let's see you in 15 minutes. And it would be on, and we'd play DayZ for hours. DayZ had just released as an alpha. DayZ is a zombie mod of the game Arma 2, which is it was an incredible game that became wildly popular.
It's actually becoming popular again, to be honest.
Yeah, I will have to I've got some I'll dig them up, but I have some clips of us playing.
Oh yeah,
I remember the helicopters and stuff.
Oh yeah. I remember the one we were like launching grenades off the side of the building, and we were like attracting a bunch of zombies, and we're like, oh okay, well we're screwed.
I got to tell you, I was out and about, and I ran into this guy who said he listens to the tech show, right? But it was kind of cool because he said, "I love it when you guys talk about gaming." I said, "Oh, what do you play?" And he goes, "I don't play anything. I don't play any games. I don't have a computer that's fast enough, but I love you guys talking about it because it makes me want to upgrade my computer and play some games." I told you, just do it.
Do it now.
Yes,
do it now.
Do it. Speaking of that, you've been, I know that, Justin, you talked about that zombie game. You were going to maybe do some voices. How's that coming along? Is the game still popular? I mean, we tend to have games that come out, they'll be out for a little while, and then they just kind of disappear.
No. So the game you're referencing is Project Zomboid, and it is becoming more and more popular by the day. I mean, I'm seeing more and more posts on Reddit, more and more posts on X about the game, and the developer apparently him or his team, I guess they've expanded, because remember, this game came out in 2013.
Oh wow.
And it was okay. Yeah. But like about a year ago, not even a year ago, it's been about 6 months since they released Build 42, and Build 42 just changed everything. And now it's just getting better and better. Now they're on, I think it's 42.6. So it's the 6th iteration that just came out yesterday of Build 42. Now there's still no multiplayer in Build 42. Everybody that wants to play multiplayer has to play on Build 41, the previous iteration. But it is becoming more and more popular by the day. Now, with respect to your question about the voiceover stuff, I did some voiceover work for this mod, which was in talks with the developer to become vanilla, which means just included in the base game. I don't know the status of it right now. Shortly after I did those voices, I got sick.
That's right.
And I don't normally get sick, but I'll be honest, this is really weird, Andy. And you'll know this being, a radio DJ, but my voice was really bad for weeks on end. I mean, it was just, I sounded like I would wake up in the morning and I would have a very deep, perfect radio voice.
Right.
But then by like halfway through the day, it just sounded like I was sick.
You turned into Bobby Brady. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just got really bad. But you know what? I'll be honest. Like I'm starting, feeling better and I'm not doing it. And I don't know what happened with this whole sickness thing.
Right.
But it has changed my voice like permanently. Like I have that deep voice now. I feel like all the time.
Right.
It's just it's like dropped down a half octave.
Well, you probably went through
always.
You went through the change. It's a
I finally hit puberty at 44 years old. I finally hit puberty.
It happens. Some of us a little later than others.
A little bit later than others.
Yeah. There is. If you ever want to watch a video when it comes to voices, and I've mentioned this before. I'm going to say it again. If you watch it when you're finished with this, Justin, the finest voices ever in voiceover work. It's called Five Guys in a Limo.
Oh, dude, I showed you that. I was the one that showed you that.
Were you the one that introduced?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
That is
That's
one
the
of
best.
the best videos. Some of the greatest. Don LaFontaine. Just great voice guys.
They're all of them. The guy that did Disney, the guy that did Jurassic Park, the guy that did Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I mean, all those. Yeah, the five best voiceover actors of our time. The only problem with that video is the quality.
It's so old.
You cannot find a good quality version of it. So it's like it's not even 480p. It's like 320p.
It is.
But at least the audio is okay, so you can understand it. But yeah, Five Guys in a Limo. Just look it up on YouTube. It is amazing.
You had something you were telling us before the break, but you didn't give us the info that you kind of did, and it involves tech. And I thought, okay, let's see what it is.
Well, I've mentioned this before, so a lot of my normal daily routine is, after I get off of work, I go pick up Eric from school, and a lot of times we'll stop over at the neighborhood brewery, and I'll have a quick beer while I'm just kind of like unwinding from the day, and I'll bring my computer and I'll be surfing the internet, or I'll be on a game myself, and then Eric's got the little tablet next to him, and he tries to play Minecraft on the tablet, or he might try to play like Roblox or a lot of these mobile games. And I can just tell that he's just getting frustrated with the quality of the tablet. And he's just like, I'm getting bored, Dad, I'm getting bored.
Do you think is it the graphics and
the graphics
Minecraft
and the ability?
Yeah.
The ability. I mean, it's not the tablet is a decent tablet, but it's just, the ability to be able to play. And he's getting more and more interested in like Steam games and stuff, the stuff that I play. And he just can't do that on the tablet. So, yeah, we went out and bought him a gaming laptop.
Oh, wow. Which one did you end up getting?
Well, we got him the Acer Predator.
Oh, that's a good line. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it has an i7. It's the newest i7. It's Core Ultra.
Okay.
It's the brand newest i7. It's only got 16 gigs of RAM, which is fine, but it does have a 4060, an RTX 4060 in it. Well, my laptop that I use for work, it has a 3070 Ti, which I think is still a little bit more powerful than the 4060,
right?
In terms of overall performance, but the 4060, So get this. So I get this laptop. It's got Windows 11 on it. I spend all of Sunday.
Was it S mode?
No.
Oh,
no.
So you didn't have to take it out of S mode.
No, it wasn't S mode. It was straight Windows. So I spend all Sunday afternoon from like 12 until, well, actually about 1. Let's say 1 o'clock until about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm updating it. I'm downloading all the updates. I'm downloading, all the Driver Easy drivers because I love Driver Easy. I'm downloading Steam. I'm updating the Xbox app, and then I start downloading some games, and then I signed up for a service because it's a full-fledged laptop, and he has the ability to go anywhere on the internet. I signed up for this particular, where is it here? Because it's called Custodio.
Right.
Custodio. 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 And it is a parental control app that is on his computer, but it's hidden, and he's unable to disable it. And so what this app does is it monitors everything he does, every application he launches, every game, every YouTube video that he searches, every website that he goes to, every time he tries to bypass admin controls or whatever it might be, it will alert me immediately on my phone via the app, also via email. So then I can just completely just shut his computer down, like remotely. I can shut the computer down.
So you can get a report of, hey, he's looking at this. You don't want him to look at this. So real time. That is awesome.
So like if he goes to YouTube and he's searching Minecraft videos, I don't get an alert. But if he goes and searches something more nefarious that an 8-year-old shouldn't search, it will alert me and say, hey, your kid is watching some stuff that he probably shouldn't be watching. But I mean, I'm usually right next to him. I mean, we're not like letting him go to his room and just, browse the internet. Like we're watching him. But anyway, the Custodio is really cool, and we got a good deal. I think it was like 2 years for like $160.
Right.
So it wasn't too expensive. Anyway,
how about the installation of apps like Snapchat for the web, that kind of thing?
Yeah, no, it won't let him install any apps.
That's cool.
He's not an admin on the. Actually, currently he is an admin on the PC because it's only been a day since we had it, and I haven't had a chance to remove his administrator privileges. But I will take care of that.
Yes.
But yeah, no, he won't be able to install any apps. He won't be able to do anything that I don't want him to do, which is it's great. So anyway, we get this thing set up on Sunday. Sunday afternoon, I'm like, hey, man, let's go celebrate. I want a beer. Let's go over to Brews. Let's bring your brand new laptop. Let's sit down. I'm going to bring mine. I'm going to play Assassin's Creed Shadows, the new Assassin's Creed that's set in feudal Japan, because
that looks good.
Eric's half Japanese. And he sets up his laptop. He opens up Minecraft and he starts playing Minecraft. 5 minutes later, he's watching YouTube. I'm like, really? Like, really? Dude, I didn't just spend $1,000 on a laptop for you to go and watch YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
like, you can watch YouTube on the tablet.
Right.
He's like, well, I just want to watch YouTube. I want to watch Minecraft videos. I'm like, then why did I buy you a $1,000 laptop?
Give him some of the classic games. He might have some fun with those.
Well, I've been trying. I mean,
Doom?
Yeah.
Like Doom, like Wolfenstein. Yeah, that's great for an 8-year-old.
Nocturnal. Remember that one? Yeah.
Anyway, no, but I mean, I've been trying to get him all kinds of games because I can share my Steam library with him. So I'm giving him like things like House Flipper, Power Wash Simulator. I even gave him Project Zomboid, but he doesn't want to play that.
But every 8-year-old kid wants to play Power Washing Simulator.
No, he actually loves it. He does. He actually loves Power Wash Simulator. He likes. Okay, so here's the thing. You don't
wait. What is Power Wash Simulator? It sounds
exactly what it sounds like.
It's exactly what it sounds like. You're a guy that goes around houses and you power wash things, and it's cathartic, dude. I'm telling you, it sounds like a joke, but it's not.
Right.
It is so cathartic to sit there and just power wash stuff.
A little caveat here. So, simulation games with Justin and I don't go over very well.
No,
because when I lived in San Diego and we were playing Farming Simulator 2010,
oh my gosh,
the first thing he did in the game was ran me over with a tractor.
Yeah. And then he's still just standing there.
I don't think we were 5 minutes into the game. He just plows me over.
Yeah, and he's still standing there. He's like, "How did I survive that?" I'm like, "I don't know, dude. It's a simulator."
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe a simulator game would be cool. Like,
well, no,
that.
He loves them. Because here's the thing. Eric and I, what we like to do, him and I, at the end of the night before he goes to bed, we like to watch a particular YouTube channel called Let's Game It Out. And it's a guy who all he does is he gets these early access simulation games, and he just completely makes fun of them and he destroys them. He doesn't play the game as it's designed. He basically tests the game to its limits, and he does crazy things with these games that the developers are like, "Oh my God, we got to fix these bugs." Like, they do this on purpose. They'll send him the game and let him explore the game, and then they'll go back and they'll fix those bugs because he's able to expose those bugs. But it becomes really funny entertainment, and Eric and I just love watching Let's Game It Out on YouTube. So anyway, that's why he likes simulation games. So I've gotten him a streamer simulator where you basically get to be like a Twitch streamer.
Oh, now that's cool.
Yeah, well, no, the game is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's only like $5.
It can't be worse than Power Washing Simulator.
Oh no, Power Washing Simulator is a AAA title. It is like $30 or $40, and it is actually worth it. It's actually a really good game. I got him Lawn Mowing Simulator, where like you're just mowing lawns. Yeah, no, he loves it.
We're supposed to get our kids outside mowing lawns. Well,
we
here
don't have
in the desert, we don't. Yeah, we don't have that.
He has to learn somehow.
Yeah.
But anyway, he loves it. But I gotta get him to play the actual games because he just wants to watch Let's Game It Out.
We talked about Minecraft. Roblox, I know, has been real big with younger set. Minecraft has been huge. Now they got a movie coming out about, and I'm thinking, we look at other movies like Postal, the movie did not do that great. There's other movies that came out that did not do that great.
Wait, there was a Postal movie?
There was a Postal movie, yeah.
What?
Yeah, we had
No way.
Yes, there was a screening we did in Tucson. We were there. TechtalkRadio was there.
Like
it was
all 5 of you, all 5 people. That was it.
It was 3 of us, and there were people there because the guy who created the game was from Tucson, Vince Desi.
No, I know,
but yeah, I mean, and Udo Kerr, I think, was the director. It was a pretty awful movie. It really, I mean, I'll be honest. The game was more fun to play, but I'm thinking, will Minecraft, and it's got some names in it, will it be good?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about you, Sean, but I'm looking forward to it because I mean, Jason Momoa, Jack Black are the 2 big characters in it. The final trailer that got released actually makes it look pretty darn decent. I mean, when it first got announced, I was like, you got to be kidding.
Yeah.
But it actually makes it look pretty darn good, and we bought tickets, so Eric is really excited. We're going to go see it. I think it's not next Saturday, but the Saturday after that. Yeah.
Right. I just wonder, and for people who don't know Minecraft, not everybody's played Minecraft. I don't know if I have. Is that the one where you run and you build things? And okay.
Blocks, everything's in like a square block.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah. You do a lot of building.
What could be the plot of this movie? I mean, a Call of Duty movie or a Medal of Honor movie, yeah, and there's a plot. But what would be the plot for this?
Sean, you played Minecraft, right?
Yeah, I've played Minecraft since it came out.
Yeah,
like
me
when
too.
it was just whatever they call it, the Bedrock
Beta.
edition or whatever.
Oh, it was Java. Java was the first one.
Yeah, it came out in Java. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's you can play in adventure mode, you can play in survival mode. There's a couple different
creative
modes.
mode.
You just go in and you basically have to build. You start with nothing, and you literally have to go punch a tree until you have enough wood to make a wooden axe, and then you start developing tools faster and faster and faster. But it's one of those games where you can literally create anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Eric has gotten so good at it. I mean, some of his creations are amazing.
There is a collective of people that are doing a 1-to-1 scale replica of Earth as Minecraft.
1-to-1 scale? What does that mean?
I mean, the worlds have gotten just amazingly large.
The seed is going to literally be like, it will be as big as, like, if you were standing in one block, it would be like you're standing in my house. Like, they're making a scale version of cities and everything. Yeah,
it's actually pretty crazy. I mean, no, it's got a massive following, and honestly, it got even bigger when Microsoft purchased it. What did they purchase it for? They purchased it from Notch. Notch was the original creator. Marcus Pearson went by Notch. Microsoft purchased it, I want to say back in 2012, I think,
right.
And they purchased it for like $1 billion or something like that.
In 2014, Notch sold Minecraft to Microsoft for $2.5 billion.
Okay, I was a little off, but
right.
Yeah. But anyway, Microsoft took this and ran with it, and they have actually done a pretty darn good job. I mean, first off, it was in Java. It was written in Java, the language, programming language. They recreated the entire game in what they call Bedrock, which is what is now the most played version, because Bedrock can be played across all platforms: PlayStation, Xbox, PC, mobile, Switch, all of it. Whereas Java can only be played on PC.
Right.
Some of the more hardcore players will play on Java because there's a lot more modding allowed. But Bedrock is catching up with that. But instead of modding, Bedrock allows you to just purchase add-ons and purchase mods. So that's where Microsoft's making all their money off of. But Eric has already spent probably a good couple $100 on Minecraft himself.
Wow.
Just buying like extra like skins and cities and worlds, but some of the things that he's created are just absolutely amazing. And he plays with his friends all the time. They're all jumping online at the same time, playing on a server. They just love it.
That's pretty cool. Now you're talking about the laptop. I showed one this couple weeks ago on KMSB. And man, I have not sent it back yet. It's got to go back this week. But it is from Asus. It's the ROG Flow Z13. And what's really cool, if you guys get a chance to look at this, it features the AMD 395 processor. It's got a Ryzen graphics card in it, and it is pretty darn amazing. It sells for about $17.99, but it's a tablet. So, you're talking about, a gaming laptop or a tablet. It's an actual tablet with a keyboard, and it's super thick, does the RGB, so you get that in the back, got that in the front. But performance-wise, and I haven't really played games with it. I've just got on it. I've been, just setting it through the ringers, jumping online, doing this, doing that, and I've been really pleased with it. I'm pretty sure with games it would be pretty awesome. So if if you get a chance, check out the video where we show the product. I'm going to do another video on it before I send it back that I want to give you a better look, because you can see all the ports on it that are available. Again, the pricing not too bad. The other one I'm going to do is something that I showed this past week. Now, Sean, I know you've been a big fan of the Epson Fast Photo 680W. We've talked about it for the last 4 shows. This week, I tested out. Unfortunately, it didn't go so good on live TV. You guys worked in TV. You know what I'm talking about. But I showed the Epson RR600W. It's a rapid receipt scanner. And so if you're around tax time or you have a business, Justin, you got a business, you want to organize your receipts, you could scan up to 100 receipts into your computer, or you could do it into your smartphone if you do the wirelessly, and it scans at about 35 pages per minute. It can also scan front and back. Can also scan photos, 600 DPI or 300 DPI, not like the 680, which can go, I believe. Didn't you say that goes up to 1200, Sean? DPI?
It'll do up to 12. Yeah, well, I think it goes even higher than that, but 1200 is kind of like you have 300, 600, 1200. Those are kind of like the fast modes.
Right.
In 300 DPI, it'll do like a photo faster than every second. 600, it's at least 1 a second. Goes really fast. 1200, it takes about 3 seconds per photo to scan. But the quality on the 600 DPI is
still good.
I don't know how to say this, is good enough for digital archives. I'm not going to sit there and scan all these any higher than 600 DPI. I've printed some already from just Walgreens,
right?
The Google Photos app, and they look fine.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty amazing stuff that it will do. It also, like I said, does front and back, but it also, using the ScanSmart software that is part of Epson, you could put it into QuickBooks or TurboTax, or you could just organize it, and it uses AI to look at it and say, this is a receipt for auto repair. This is a receipt for a home repair. This is a receipt for business supplies. And it actually will put that as far as where the product was bought, how much it was, what the tax was, everything. So, if you're looking for a receipt to help you get organized, a receipt scanner to help you get organized, this one's pretty good. And I've used other ones, smaller ones like Visioneer, Epson. This one, though, is probably their top of the line now. And again, it's the RR600W. But when I went to demo it on TV, I didn't set it up for Wi-Fi. I set it up for USB. So we're going through the entire segment trying to figure out, why is it not scanning? I hit the button, nothing is happening. And then I look down and I see it's not plugged into the computer. And so, of course, I said, well, that means I will be putting a video up on our website. And then, of course, Tyler Butler said, yeah, Andy Taylor, our tech expert, threw me under the bus. I love it. So, yeah, but I will be posting that.
You should rewatch the show and point out any technical mistakes they make on TV.
I know, right?
The tech expert.
That would be kind of cool. All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. We're going to talk more about technology. What is going on with Microsoft? Why are they making so many changes? Somebody said, I think it's because they want everybody to go to Linux. Well, I don't think that's the case, but we'll talk about that when we come back. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Sean DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Find us online at TechtalkRadio.com. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Changes. Seems like we just keep seeing changes when it comes to Microsoft. And while we know that, in October, that'll be it for Windows 10 as far as support, it'll still work. If you have it, it'll still work. But we're seeing a lot of changes. This week, it was announced that OneNote that a lot of people use for Windows 10 will be going away. Skype will be going away. And I think
I'm hard pressed. That's big.
The Skype one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, are they just going to integrate it into Teams now?
Well,
yeah.
Here's my problem with it. So, and they just took the money out of my account. I pay for a Skype phone line. So Skype gave me a number. I pay for it. And that is a phone line that we use for if I ever have to do an interview with I give them a phone line instead of giving them an email address. And it's been great. But they're telling me that that's going away in May. So my phone line is no longer going to work because Teams is not going to be using a phone line. At least I don't think so.
I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. So
you can still call in.
You think so?
Well, actually, yeah, you're right. You're right. If you host a Teams meeting, it does give you call-in phone numbers. Just like
I
Zoom
can call
does.
it. I can call into this Zoom meeting right now. You could just open a Zoom call and say, "Here's the phone number,"
you don't have to pay for it.
And they'll just they'll call into this Zoom meeting.
Yeah, but the phone number is a Skype phone number. So I'm wondering, is Skype, the interface, going to go away? So my phone number won't work anymore?
But you probably won't be able to have a dedicated phone number because every time you launch a new Teams meeting, or just like with Zoom, every time you launch a Zoom meeting, it's going to give you a different phone number to call into, or a different access code at least.
So I was thinking, okay, well, I have to go back to VoIP or go back to Vonage or go back to...
No, just use use Zoom.
Just
use
Zoom
phone number.
Yeah, I like Zoom a lot better. I don't know. Do you think that's the reason? I mean, even though, after the pandemic, Zoom user count was down quite a bit. And they were saying that, people weren't using the service as much. The work from home meetings aren't as big. I pay for Zoom and I love it. I think it's one of the best out there. But I pay for Skype as well, just so I can have a phone number.
I would stop doing that.
Well, you remember that's how we used to do these shows.
We used to do it with Skype. Yeah.
With Skype.
Yep.
Skype was how before Discord was around, that's how we did video chats and everything with my friends for gaming and stuff was all Skype.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I did a little, team speak and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Skype was also like Skype. We used it a lot for confidence returns at work, where we would feed in. We had a DECLink card or an SDI input into a computer running Skype and make the video source that your video signal in, and it was sub 1 second latency over because Skype had the lowest latency deliverable out of any of the video chat platforms. So even over public internet, you could get a half a second to 1 second latency on video return. So we used to use it. We used to use it for live shots, where if you needed to see your return to call highlights or, see your interviewee or whatever, we would just put a laptop on Skype and view the program return from the station.
Now you should be able to do that same feature with Teams.
You can do it with any of them now, and they're all so good now. But at the time, Skype was just so ahead of the game in terms of bandwidth, and so it's like I'm hard pressed to believe that they're going to moonlight it, but they just went with Teams.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, they've just been making so many changes every time you turn around, and I understand that sometimes you got to remove some of the programs that aren't working or causing issues that maybe cause more work, and you have to make changes. Will people bail and suddenly go to Apple, or will they look at Linux type of distributions? Yeah, I really don't think they will. I think most people will just go with the flow. Just say, okay, well, I'll deal with it.
You got like Slack, and you got other platforms out there. I mean, you can even just do like Discord, I guess. You could do that too.
Oh, true. You're true. I mean, there are more options now than certainly we had before with some of those other choices for messaging communication software. That's true.
But with Discord is more, with computers, you're not going to have like a phone number or something to call into.
Well, the quality...
I like Discord, personally.
The quality that you get with Zoom is pretty amazing. And I've been able to try what we pay for, and then I've been able to try out the higher quality that actually is, HD, and it's pretty amazing. And it's only about $5 more a month, so I was thinking I might just go ahead and bite the bullet and do that, so that we could be all in HD, which is
we could
kind of cool.
Could try it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so they're making a lot of changes. I don't know why do you think they're doing it? It's just Windows 11.
I don't know. I mean, I part of me thinks that they're trying to get people ready for Windows 12. I mean, I think Windows 12 is just right around the corner.
Right.
Personally.
Now, in the timeline of operating systems, you had like great ones, and then you'd have one in the middle that was just like Windows 8.
Oh, no, even before that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like every other version of Windows is good. Like, and I think there was actually an article about it, but there are like two teams that work on Windows. There's the one that works on the Vistas and the 8s
right,
and the 11s. And then you got the team that works on the XP and the 7 and the 10, right?
Right.
So those are the ones that are good, whereas the Vista and the Windows 8 and the Windows 11, they're the bad ones, right?
So 12 is going to be great.
So that means like 12, by if logic follows, that means 12 is going to have to be really good.
Right. Well, with Windows 10 we thought was great. And actually Windows 10 had been around a while. When you look at it.
Same with 7. 7 was around forever.
Yeah.
So was XP.
Right.
And it was the same team that worked on XP, that worked on 7, that worked on 10.
There was no Windows 9, was there?
No, it was 8.1 because Windows 8 was so bad they had to release a .1 update.
Boy, I'll tell you, I had a build of a new computer for our studio this week that just went awry. It was awful. I ended up, buying parts. I've had a 790, an Asus C790p motherboard for a while. Has wireless, the whole bit. And I finally decided, okay, I need to update the computer in here to Windows 11. So I went ahead. I bought I found an I want to say it was an i7 processor. Not that much money. And I got it in, and I thought I had to have a graphics card with it, so I ordered a Zotac 1080 because it's just all it does is record audio. Mm-hmm. That's it. Got that. Got myself a Sound Blaster Audigy card because I thought, okay, cool. And then I go to install everything, and halfway through, it would just go to black. Nothing. Nothing. No video. And the only way I get it back, reboot the computer. Nothing would come up. It'd try to go into Windows, nothing. I'd have to go into reinstalling, and I have to reinstall Windows. That's the only way. And it was driving me nuts. So eventually, I found out that the processor I got was the kind that you didn't need a graphics card for. And I thought, oh, what an idiot. So I sent the graphics board back, got my money back for it. Then the fan that I was trying to install wouldn't spin. It would light up great, but it wouldn't spin. Then I went online. I'm reading everything, nothing. And then I remembered I had a fan in the garage. I go in the garage, I grab it, I plug it in, and it spins. So obviously it was the fan. So next morning I get a new one, plug it, everything's going good with it. So right now it's working, but I can't get the sound right. And I'm using that Sound Blaster card. I'm ready to pull that thing out of there and just go with sound off the board. It's probably going to be just as good, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it won't be right in terms of quality,
right?
Yeah. If you're an audiophile, it'll make a difference. But for the general consumer, just using onboard audio is going to be fine.
Yeah,
but
we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. What were the days of needing a Creel D3D Sound Blaster, Voodoo, Magic, whatever, all those fun remembering all those specific, hardware cards that you could get that had, the optical outs and all that stuff, good stuff too. So, but yeah, you'll be fine with just onboard.
That's what I'm thinking. I may just do that if I can't figure this out. Because normally, and it's funny, because I went to the old computer. I hooked up the old computer again, and I don't have the problems that I have with the new one. The new one, you crack the microphone, and it plays out over the speakers. It shouldn't. I don't know why it does. So I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, this has been the worst build I've ever had. Normally, I have them put together in about 45 minutes to an hour. No, not in this case.
So, how many builds have you done in your life?
When I had a business, I would build them for companies. I just a couple of years ago built one for a graphics design shop, and they love it. Still working great, but I would say close to about 30, maybe 40, and the rest have been support. So, yeah. But we're going back to 386 days. I've built 386s. I've built the old. Do you remember the AMD, the original AMD processors? Those DX, the DX40. I don't know if you remember those. Yeah,
I didn't really get into building my own PCs until the Core 2 Duo days.
Right. I just like it when you can put everything in and it works fine. Everything's good. You don't have to worry about it.
I really like it when I can build a computer without bleeding on it.
I've done that.
That's never going to happen. If you are building your own PC, you are going to bleed.
Yes,
because you're gonna pull out an expansion slot, or you're gonna try and put in the IO shield.
Slice your finger on the motherboard or something.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna bleed.
Yeah,
so, it's the sacrifice for technology.
Yeah, it was great though because I have to do my blood test. I have to take the sample and make sure it's not got too much glucose in it. So when I was building the computer, I'd go, oh, a slice. Oh, better go take my test. Served a purpose. All right, listen, we got a great guest standing by that I talked to that is all about safety and security for your kids. Justin, you were talking about what's the service that you were using for your son? Custodio. There's another one out there called Bark. And Titania Jordan is one of the grand poobahs there at Bark, has put together her second book called Parental Control, A Guide to Raising Balanced Kids in the Digital Era. And it talks everything about the different things that are out there, like that many parents don't know about. Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook. There are other sites, Reddit. There's other sites that can be great, but can also lead them down a pretty dark path. So again, she's going to talk to us about that, going to talk to us about what's safer, Android or iPhone, when it comes to security for your kids. So we're going to do that when we come back with Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Sean DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Send us an X at Tech Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
Now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Hey, Bill Nye, the science guy here. Whenever I am listening to the radio, especially Tech Talk Radio, it's just such a party.
When it comes to our children, we've talked quite a bit about safety when it comes to the internet and some of the things that, we parents like to think we know. But honestly, there's a lot more going on in the internet that maybe we're not aware of. And sometimes getting all the answers can be difficult. Some of us have relied on software, which really is not the end-all solution. We should really understand what is going on with devices, tablets, computers, the whole bit. Titania Jordan is CMO and Chief Parent Officer, and I love that, with Bark Technologies. And like me, has done television segments about technology and how it affects business and families as well. And she has a book that she put out back in 2020 called Parenting in a Tech World. And then she's got a brand new one just released this week, Parental Control, A Guide to Raising Balanced Kids in the Digital Era. Titania, thank you so much for coming on Tech Talk Radio.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I tell you, the book, you just held it up. Can you hold that up again? Because I want our viewers to see this. It really indicates what parents should know because there are shark fins in the waters of the internet. And, what made you decide to kind of write this as a follow-up book to the first book?
Well, the first book came out around 2020, and now it's 2025. So we're half a decade in, which, as you and I both know, in tech years, is exponentially more. And so much has happened since I co-wrote that first book. So wanted to give parents an update. We know more, and when you know more, you can do better. And wanted to give parents the most current information possible. Also, in 2020, my son was a lot younger, and now he's 16. And these past 5 years have been a doozy. And I've learned a lot as a parent that I wish I knew back then, and hopefully can impart to other parents so they don't make the same mistakes that I did.
Parents don't want to wait till it's too late.
They shouldn't wait until it's too late. When you're working in a time of crisis, it's a lot more stressful and a lot more difficult than if you're working proactively during a time of peace and calm and understanding. So better to get ahead of things than to have to be in crisis mode.
Now, there's a lot going on when it comes to texting. We want our kids to have smartphones, to be able to reach out to us for safety. They can be good. There's that question that always goes around about what age should a child have a smartphone, but they're pretty much going to start texting right away if they get one. But a lot of us don't understand that they can have full conversations with emojis, but some of these emojis are really not what they represent.
100%. A lot of people don't realize that texting is social media. It is a form of media that is social. So there's that. Emojis. There are so many emojis, so many acronyms that parents don't realize mean what they mean today. One example of that is the plate of spaghetti noodles. If I sent you that, it might be like, hey, I'm inviting you over for Italian dinner. And you'd be like, cool.
Yeah.
But if you're 13 and that emoji gets sent, noodles sounds like nudes. And you can see how that can spiral very quickly, pardon the pun, with spiral and pasta.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my gosh. And see, a lot of parents don't know this. We know of the obvious ones, the peach and the other ones. Yeah. But that's, again, this whole new language seems to come around every 6 months. Something changes, something is added. And while the consortium puts out the emojis, we have no idea how they're going to eventually be used.
Well, no human can keep up. And that's why I'm so proud of the algorithm at Bark. Our machine learning, our engineering, our data scientists are able to take that real-time analysis of teen and tween speak, feed it back into the system, and help alert parents because we can't keep up with all of this.
Yeah. Now, with Bark, can users then set up their smartphones, tablets, computers to, I want to say, be monitored or to be able to give this information to the parents?
Yes. Yeah. If you want to utilize the Bark app for your child's iPhone or Android phone, or if you want to buy your child a safer smartphone, you can go with the Bark phone. If you want to buy your child a safer smartwatch, you can go with the Bark watch. So those options will proactively alert you when your children are encountering dangerous content like emojis to ask for nudes or dangerous people.
Yeah, dangerous people. That's the one to worry about as well. Now, when it comes to security on our devices, are Androids better than iPhones? Do you find that there's some that work better for that younger set they're going to use them?
Yeah, it's such a problematic situation right now because the popular is the iPhone. Everybody wants it. It's the new shiny thing, right? But the safest for children and the easiest for a parent to manage is an Android. So we have to be better parents and not give our children what they want, but what they need. Do they need the ability to communicate safely? Great. There's plenty of options for that. That you don't have to give your kid a Ferrari when they turn 16. So don't give them a $1,000 smartphone that prioritizes privacy over their safety.
Now, what happens, and this is gonna show my age. All right. So I used to watch MASH on television.
Yes.
Loved it. And I remember going to the surplus store. Me and my buddy watched it, and we bought the military jackets, and we wore those to school, and we were all decked out, and it was cool. We lived that. But what happens when, my parents never tried to take away my military jacket, but what happens when a child has been so absorbed into the smartphone that those warning signs start coming up for a parent, and they've got to do something? timeouts? Is there, I mean, what's really going to be the best way to help enforce being a parent and saying, no, I think you're going a little too far with this?
I would say, again, back to the being proactive point, delay is the way. It's so much better for you to wait to let your child have access to all of the things. Don't feel pressured to do it just because all of their friends have it. Doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that those parents are making the right choices. So delay is the way. If you are observing that your child's behavior, grades, appetite, demeanor, interest in real life activities is changing as a result of their screen time and use, it's time to change things.
Yeah.
And P.S., they're not going to like it. There might be tantrums. Things might get thrown. They're going to be mad at you. They might call you names. That's what an addict does, right? If you take away my ice cream while I'm still eating it, I'm going to get mad at you. But doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. I'm not supposed to eat the whole thing in one sitting. So we have got to be the parent and do what's best for our children.
Now, I'm on pretty much all the social apps. I needed to do it, of course, to know what I'm talking about. I've seen stuff on Snapchat that will curl my eyebrows. TikTok is, I don't know. Is there one app that is a little more dangerous that maybe you don't want your kids to have?
Any application or game or tech that allows strangers to communicate with your child is inherently dangerous.
Yeah.
That said, if I had to pick one or the most dangerous, I would say it's Snapchat. Snapchat has so many issues. And one of the reasons why it's so dangerous is because so many children are flocking to it. The whole premise of Snapchat was built upon nudes, sending nudes that disappeared.
Wow.
So why are we allowing our children to support a platform that base their launch on that?
I didn't even know that. And I'm sure I'm saying I'm on it.
Yeah, like that's why they launched it.
Yeah.
Was to help people send nudes without a
Wow.
trace. Snapchat has Snap Maps that shows your child's real-time live location to anyone they're connected to. Not a problem if it's 5 of their closest friends. Most kids are connected to more than 5 people and people they don't know. With Snapchat, drug dealers are able to distribute drugs to children as easily and quickly as a pizza, drugs that have fentanyl in them. It's just, there's so many dangers. Within Snapchat, there's a chatbot, My AI, that can lead children astray, give them misinformation or information that is harmful to them. Snapchat offers a photo vault inside of the app for My Eyes only. Why does a child need a photo vault that is private and only accessible by them?
Exactly. And it opens a gateway. It kind of worries me because it could open a gateway to OnlyFans and some of these other areas that the kids have no idea. And they just think, oh, it's okay. Everybody else is doing it.
Yeah. I mean, and from the mental health aspect, the gamification of it to encourage children to keep snapping with each other, to have snap streaks. It's the content they can encounter there.
Yeah.
Not uplifting, not helpful, not educational, not always not, but a lot of times not. You might not want your children to have access to things like, HBO, whatever. And it's
or even violent content, right? I mean, that's on there.
Violent content, sexual content that glorifies disordered eating and cutting and suicidal ideation, misinformation, it's not good.
Is some of this stuff covered in the book, the new book that's out, which is, of course, Parental Control, A Guide to Raising Balanced Kids in a Digital Era?
Oh, we go deep on Snapchat and other apps.
Yeah.
Here's what you aren't learning about these apps and what you need to know. And honestly, quick free tip, before you allow your child to have anything, app, game, tech, spend some time on it yourself first and learn the landscape. That's a
good idea. That's great advice too. When it comes to us being parents, do you think social media companies like Meta and some of the others that are out there are doing enough to protect not only our children, but us when it comes to our interests?
No, not at all. And if you just zoom out to common sense, what is their goal as a for-profit company? To make money. How do they make money? By the time we spend in their app. So what are they going to do? Try to keep us in their app for as long as possible, clicking around, engaging. So it's not in their interest to tell us to take a break or have us get outside and interact with humans in real life, right?
Right.
So they're not going to do that. And who is the most impressionable demographic? Who is the most easily to influence? Children. And the largest social media platforms generated over $11 billion in revenue off of children just over the course of 2023.
That says a lot right there. Now, one of the other things, of course, during the pandemic, we saw the schools really, shifted and said, okay, you're going to work from home. Chromebooks, they would get Chromebooks, they would get, Windows, PCs to take home and now laptops and whatnot. Was there enough filtering on those? And is there still filtering going on those? It's just not enough.
Not enough. It really depends on the school and the school district. Some school districts and schools are doing a wonderful job of giving children a balanced, safe access to tech. I would say the general majority is not, though. And part of that is they're not educating the parents around the fact that the school has now given this child this really powerful tool. While the kid is on campus, there's a set of rules and filters. Mm-hmm. But if the school is encouraging the child to take it home to do homework or whatever, I think have a care of duty to let the parent know what's capable there. Parents shouldn't just assume the same filters are applied. Unfortunately, I've heard of way too many instances of children accessing pornographic, violent, etc. content on campus, in class. And let's just think about this for a minute. If my goal as a child is to learn from a teacher, I'm not going to do that when there's a screen in front of my face that allows me to play solitaire.
Yeah.
I'm not taking notes. I'm playing games.
All right. So the book is available now. It's available on Kindle, and it's available from Amazon is one of the places you can get that. And do you have information about Bark as well, that if our listeners or viewers are saying, you know what, I like what they're doing, how do I sign up to have, this type of security feature added to my devices?
Yes, it's so easy. You just go to bark, like a dog barks, .us, not .com, different website. Bark.us will help you decide what you might need to implement for your family to keep your kids safer online.
I think this is important for every parent to look into, and definitely want to thank you so much for coming on Tech Talk Radio.
Thank you for having me. It's always good to connect with you.
Once again, the book is available now. It's called Parental Control, a guide to raising balanced kids in the digital era. To Tanya Jordan, the author. And again, you can find this available just about everywhere now. Amazon, of course, is also available as a Kindle book as well. Could provide some very important information. Now, I want to remind you that Monday is World Backup Day. Once again, a day to just remind yourself to make a backup, whether it be of your smartphone, of your PC, your Mac, your devices that are able to back up. So in case of anything happening, you don't lose that data. World Backup Day. All right, we'll be back with more of Tech Talk Radio. I think Justin has a pretty good website of the week we're going to take a look at. That's on the way.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Eric Johnson. I play Flash Gordon on Sci-Fi's Flash Gordon, and you are listening to Tech Talk Radio.
Okay, I'm literally trying today's website of the week here. Oh my gosh, I died again.
Well, we opened the show talking.
I made it.
Wait, you actually made it?
I'm on level 2 now.
Oh,
I've done it 10 times and I have not made it.
This website of the week, it's called lazyfly.me. It's just like this. It's like I don't know. It's not Flash. Obviously, it's not Flash. Doesn't exist anymore. But it looks like an old school Flash game. But you're literally just a fly, and you're trying to land on a platform. But you have to click left or right, and if you hit anything on the anything, you die.
Like if you go up too high, you'll die.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard, but it's actually kind of fun. Lazyfly.me is
it's like got Flappy. It's Flappy Bird, like
it's like Flappy Bird. Yeah.
I remember Flappy Bird.
This is kind of a cool website of the week. How did you find this, Andy?
I was going through notes for some stuff from years ago, and I suddenly saw this, and I said, "Is this still active?" And then I looked. I go, "Oh my God, it is!" And then I remembered about it, and we never talked about it. So
this reminds me a lot of my childhood in the computer class, just playing Flash games.
Right.
Yep.
This is albino black sheep, or
oh yeah.
Well,
World.
Wasn't there one that was like an Apollo capsule, and you had to land the capsule, like the same kind of on the moon?
I'm sure there were all sorts of fun flash games.
Oh, by the way, it's actually much easier if you use your arrow keys. Yeah, lazyfly.me is the website.
All right, good. You have to show this one to the kids.
Yeah, totally.
So,
if you want to embed it on your website, they have an iframe. So you can embed it on your website.
Should we put it on our website? What do you think?
Put it on the website.
Yeah, do it.
We'll put it on the website.
Go to our website, TechtalkRadio.com.
Yep.
And play Lazyfly.
Oh, I'm going to be playing this for hours.
All right, so we'll get that up on the website. We'll get the videos of the Epson RR600W so I can show that it actually does work and it works really cool. I did try it out, as well as the Asus Rog Flow Z13. Give you a better look at that so you can see all the ports and all that other fun stuff. All right. Well, that's it for this week's Tech Talk Radio. Thank you for tuning in. We'll take your questions, techguys@techtalkradio.com. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Sean DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. I'm currently on level 4 of Lazyfly. Have yourselves a great week, guys. We'll see you next time.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No